Tonight, a public appeal after a sexual assault arrest.
If there's victims and survivors out there, we want to make it so we reduce some of the barriers for them to come forward.
Plus, house arrest after a house party gone wrong. A 21-year-old sentenced for causing an alcohol-fueled inferno, seriously injuring several students. And sharing a sip with the rest of the country. How local beverages could start finding new markets.
As long as you have a great tasting product and the price is competitive, people will find you.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a sexual assault investigation and the message from London police appealing for additional potential victims. They say a 44-year-old man from St. Thomas faces kidnapping and weapons offenses, accused of kidnapping a stranger at knife point and assaulting her in broad daylight. Rita Ismail reports.
London police held a news conference Thursday morning to inform the public about a sexual assault investigation that has triggered a major case protocol in Ontario.
Stranger to stranger sex assaults, we have to take elevated, serious look at it, and there's resources that go into investigations such as this.
Police allege the incident happened on the morning of June 4th in the 600 block of Adelaide Street North. Investigators say the suspect lured a woman into his vehicle under false pretenses.
The woman entered the man's vehicle, and once inside, the man produced a knife, restrained her hands, and transported her to the area of Oxford Street East and Mornington Avenue, where she was sexually assaulted.
After the suspect fled, the victim contacted police. Investigators reviewed surveillance video and were able to identify the suspect vehicle as a gray 2014 Ford Focus. The following day, police arrested 44-year-old Gregory Zare of St. Thomas. He faces several charges, including kidnapping, sexual assault, and a number of weapons-related offenses. Police say Zare remains in custody and his bail hearing has been postponed. Now, investigators are asking anyone who may have had contact with the accused to come forward.
Victims and survivors, it's very difficult for them to come forward. So we want to expose all of it. If there's victims and survivors out there, we want to make it so we reduce some of the barriers for them to come forward.
The London Abused Women's Centre says publicly identifying the accused can encourage other survivors to seek help.
At the end of the day, it shows women and girls that they're not alone because there is support available for them, whether that's through policing or through an organization like ours, that there is somebody that they can go to and talk to.
In addition, we continue to appeal to anyone who is in the areas of Adelaide Street and Pall Mall Street or Oxford Street East and Mornington Avenue between approximately 11:30 a.m. and noon on June 4th, 2026, and who may have dash cam footage, surveillance footage, or any other information to contact police.
Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Sarnia police say they've identified a suspect wanted for a stabbing attack earlier this week. Police say this is 45-year-old William Galerno. They say he stabbed a woman in Centennial Park Monday, causing non-life-threatening injuries. Galerno faces assault charges along with failing to comply with a release order. Anyone with information on his location is asked to contact Sarnia police. A 21-year-old man who caused a frat party house fire last year was sentenced to house arrest today after pleading guilty to criminal negligence causing bodily harm, seriously injuring several students. With more on the judge's ruling, here's Nick Paparella.
The chaos was captured on video as more than 100 people gathered for a pre-Christmas party at the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity house on Richmond Street on December 2nd of last year. During what was called the Beer Olympics, a flaming goblet was presented. The court heard that with partygoers chanting "Do it, do it," 21-year-old Bryson Donald decided to throw some isopropyl alcohol on the fire, and within seconds, the basement erupted in flames. 6 people were rushed to hospital with severe burn injuries, with some still requiring medical attention. At the sentencing hearing, Justice Kevin McHugh told the court this case has had a significant impact on the victims. In some cases, lives have been forever altered. He added, while I accept that he did not intend to cause anyone injury, the conduct created an obvious and immediate risk of serious bodily harm to anyone in the area. One of the victims was Caitlin Jeffrey, who has undergone several surgeries. Earlier in her victim impact statement, she told Donald and the court, "For you, this may have become a memory. For me, this is something I continue to live with every single day." In the spring, Donald pled guilty to criminal negligence causing bodily harm. Acknowledging that he has no prior criminal record, Justice McHugh then gave Donald an 18-month conditional sentence with a GPS ankle monitor, 15 of those months being under house arrest and 3 months with a curfew. After that, he'll be placed on probation for 18 months. Along with the conditional sentence, Donald also has an order in place not to communicate with any of the victims involved in this case. Justice McHugh told the court Donald is remorseful, saying he has a low risk of reoffending. "I accept that Mr. Donald has learned his lesson from that day." Nick Paparella, CTV News.
We're live on location tonight at the Plunkett Estate for Country Cruise Night. This is in part by the Hyde Park District Lions Club. Coming up, we're going to tell you more about that. There are hundreds of cars here this evening and a perfect weather night for it. Conditions across our region, clear skies and sunshine and comfortable. It was a cool start this morning, but temperatures climbing this afternoon into the low 20s. It's still a bit cool for this time of year, but definitely fantastic weather. As we head into tonight, clear conditions continue. High pressure will be cresting over the Great Lakes. Winds will remain light and variable. Lots of sunshine in the forecast as we head into your Friday. Temperature-wise, nice and cool tonight. Keep those windows open. Conditions across our area will be quite pleasant, 14 degrees by midnight. Again, we are at Country Cruisin' at the Plunkett Estate. Coming up, I'll take you through the extended forecast. We'll look ahead to the weekend, and we'll tell you more about this fantastic evening underway.
Thanks very much, Julie. Local beer and winemakers are applauding this week's Premier's announcement loosening trade barriers on alcohol sales. However, expanding into new markets does not guarantee financial viability. With more, here's Brian Bicknell.
Paul Corriveau is ready to open the fridge door to more customers.
We have lots of people that reach out to us from other provinces that would love us to get our beer out there. We're just trying to figure out the economics of shipping and delivering and what have you.
The co-founder of Railway City Brewing in St. Thomas is raising a glass to a new agreement to remove some barriers on interprovincial alcohol sales. But he says the logistics would have to make it financially viable.
The biggest challenge for us is continuing to brew high-quality beer and then finding consumers that'll enjoy it and purchase it. And then finding the retailers that'll be prepared to sell it so that the consumers can actually receive it. Everything comes down to how can you get it to the customer at a cost-effective method that still makes it affordable.
A deal signed by 9 provinces, including Ontario, will allow breweries, wineries, and distilleries to sell directly to customers in participating provinces. What it could mean for consumers, for example, is they'll now be able to order a bottle of wine from another province and have it shipped straight to their door. At Sky Chase Estate Winery near St. Thomas, GM Russ Press is hoping new opportunities bear fruit.
It opens up markets. It opened up markets for direct sale, wine club growth as well, seasonal opportunities. So could be good.
And with the U.S. booze ban still in effect, this announcement coming at a time that many Ontarians are discovering, or in some cases rediscovering, some of the tastes in their own backyard.
You do hear there's a real sense of pride growing, and wow, I'm kind of forced to have some Ontario wine, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really something that I don't want to go back on.
The alcohol deal is part of a larger effort to address interprovincial trade barriers across Canada. It also follows U.S. President Trump's latest threat to slap 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian goods, including alcohol.
They like supporting local where they can. As long as you have a great tasting product and the price is competitive, people will find you.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News, St. Thomas.
There's been a substantial drop in numbers for one of the most popular and profitable fish species in our region. Jerry Dewan has more on the potential factors impacting the yellow perch population and whether a rebound could be on the horizon.
After dropping nets before sunup, the crew of the CJ Weaver do a little maintenance and cleanup. They'll head back out onto Lake Erie in the early evening to collect those nets. They focus on catching walleye and yellow perch. They say the hunt for perch this year is landing them
nothing. Right. Like next to nothing. I mean, like, it's really hard to catch them right now. They just don't seem really to be anywhere.
Yellow perch are the highest value fish in Lake Erie. They, along with walleye, are among a small number of intensely managed fish species that are subject to fishing quotas. So, what's causing the drop in yellow perch population?
Elevated walleye populations. These populations, since really 2020, so the last 7 years, have been 50 to 100 million fish per year. So that is way above normal.
William Many says not only do walleye eat perch, they eat the forage fish that the perch rely on. Lake Erie accounts for about 80% of commercial fishing in Ontario, generating over $200 million in revenue a year. The Ontario Commercial Fisheries Association works with the Environment Ministry, along with partners in the U.S., to monitor and provide good stewardship for the lake. William Many admits the science around the lake's ecosystem is lagging.
Ministry biologists, even our own internal in-house biologists, believe that to a certain degree, it is a definite impact that walleye is having on predation on perch. Your fishers who live it and breathe it every day, right? They're on the lake every day. They're telling us that.
William Many says the last time perch numbers were this low was in 1995, but within a couple of years they had completely rebounded. A complicating factor this time has been the dramatic rise in the cormorant population along the Lake Erie shoreline. According to provincial records, the number of nests went from less than 90 in 1979 to more than 13,000 in the mid-2000s.
I've heard they can have much as 60 yellow perch a day, as much as that. And I mean, the population, if you look over at the pier, when you exit the harbor, sometimes there could be hundreds of cormorants.
The Buccaneer sits near the main beach in Port Stanley and is one of the area restaurants that takes pride in offering locally harvested perch. To this point, they haven't been impacted by the shortages in the lake.
It's really popular, and right now we're still maintaining getting perch. So everything's been great for us.
William Many says fishermen have noted the walleye are getting smaller, which means their food sources may be diminishing. He says that could be part of a natural correction, opening the door to a yellow perch resurgence. But he says there will need to be continued monitoring. In Port Stanley, Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Police in Windsor have announced one of the biggest drug seizures in Ontario's history. They say 1.7 tons of illegal drugs were confiscated, worth roughly $140 million. With more, here's Chris Campbell.
This is a military ordinance. It has no legitimate civilian application.
A very rare Laddie L39 50 caliber anti-tank rifle was one item seized during what police call Project Bay. The investigation, launched by Windsor Police, lasted nearly a year and a half and seized $139 million worth of drugs and guns.
I truly do lose sleep over stuff like this for our community and other communities.
Investigators describe it as a major cross-border trafficking network. It used commercial transport trucks to move illegal drugs across the border into Canada.
It's an impressive seizure. In terms of total weight, this is one of the largest seizures in Ontario's history.
Police seized nearly 1.7 tons of cocaine, methamphetamine, and opium, along with 17 firearms, including that rare military-style anti-tank rifle.
It is our second largest cocaine seizure in the OPP that we've ever made. It is our largest methamphetamine seizure. But just to give you some context, the total cocaine and methamphetamine seizures in this investigation surpassed all of our seizures in 2025.
Search warrants were executed across southwestern Ontario and the GTA, including Windsor and LaSalle. 21 people are facing more than 100 criminal charges. Investigators say intelligence gathered by the Canada Border Services Agency helped identify commercial shipments that appeared suspicious before they could hit the streets.
Significant amount of narcotics, 1.1 tons of this was from ports of entry seizures. I think it shows a lot of what working with our partners can do. It shows what Canada Border Services Agency can do at the border, but also where we can assist our partners from within Canada.
But investigators caution, despite the record seizure, organized crime networks continue to evolve.
Unfortunately, these are not dismantling entire networks. The networks run very deep. This investigation may be at a conclusion now, but it does lead to other criminal organizations, organized crime. This work is never done, but it's certainly, as you can see, a very large dent in someone's business.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
CTV News has learned City Hall just purchased what could become a major piece of an environmental oasis right in the heart of the city. With more on the expansion plans for the Coves ESA, here's Daryl Newcomb.
Cheap? No, it wasn't cheap. But this private property near the center of the Cove's environmentally significant area was sold earlier this week. Neighbors of the mostly forested residential lot have been watching nervously since it was listed for sale.
I was quite concerned. My property backs onto the Coves, and it's always been very wild. It's been a beautiful place that we've walked to every day.
Property acquisition, 65 Cove Road.
On Tuesday, council announced the City of London had purchased the 3.1-hectare property for $625,000. Located in the floodplain next to the German-Canadian Club, it includes more than 300 meters of the East Pond shoreline. City staff tell CTV News that the plan is to add the property to the environmentally significant area. Quote, it is adjacent to the existing Coves ESA and provides ecological linkages connecting natural areas within the coves. Currently, the Coves ESA contains about 46 hectares of woodland and ponds, including 5 kilometers of hiking trails, only a short distance from downtown London. But the ESA is not contiguous, often requiring hikers to venture onto neighborhood streets before re-entering the woodlands. Moving the property from private to public hands helps fill in a large gap and secures it for the future.
I'm really hoping that it'll be as wild as possible and kept as natural as it is now.
No timeline has been announced to begin the process of adding the property to the ESA. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Conservation advocates in Midwestern Ontario are pushing back on the provincial government's amalgamation plan, which would bring the current 36 authorities down to just 9 regional agencies. With more on the compromise they're proposing, here's Scott Miller.
I think, it's working together.
At the most recent meeting of the Maitland Valley Conservation Foundation, Dr. Justina Ray, founder of the Wildlife Conservation Society of Canada, made it clear that local decision-making about environmental protections matter.
This incredible link between global and local action really meets at the watershed scale.
Which is why Dr. Ray and many at last month's meeting are against provincial plans to amalgamate Ontario's 36 conservation authorities into 9.
It's really, really important that you've got a local knowledge, and we don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose that into a great big massive regional conservation authority that, in our case, covers 19,500 square kilometers.
The province-wide conservation amalgamations take effect February 1st. The province says combining conservation authorities and creating a centralized Ontario Provincial Conservation Authority will streamline building approvals, standardize services, and strengthen watershed management. McCougan says cutting out lower-tier municipal involvement is a mistake.
I think that we need to make sure that our voice is not lost in a big regional conservation authority.
On February 1st, Maitland Valley will join 5 other conservation authorities, creating the Lake Huron Regional Conservation Authority, stretching from Exeter to Orillia. McCougan is still pushing to split their newly created regional authority in half.
We would love to see a Lake Huron focused. Use the Lake Huron shoreline as a datum and make that a conservation authority. We were proposing that we call it the Lake Huron Conservation Region. Drop the authority name.
Whether the government goes for McCougan's proposal or not remains to be seen. Dr. Ray fears her work with Maitland Valley and other conservation authorities on the One Health lens, which intertwines environmental planning decisions to not only consider the impact on animal and natural health, but its impact on human health as well, will be lost amidst the new centralized conservation agency.
We have to be celebrating the watershed, even though politically speaking, it is being torn down in front of us.
In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Well, it's a picture-perfect night for country cruise night. We're at the Plunkett Estates. We're joined by the president of the Hyde Park Lions Club, Karen Price. Karen, this is an exciting night. Thanks for having us.
Oh, it is wonderful to have everyone here. And I've said before to you earlier, we would like you to come every Thursday night to bring this great weather. We've had a really rough start to our season, but we are so excited to have all the cruisers out here tonight. They have some awesome cars. We just love having it here. Steve Plunkett is so good to us, let us use this property here. So
I was kind of blown away when I walked in. It was just really unbelievable to see all the cars, all the people out here enjoying these classic cars this evening. What happens here? There's a barbecue. There's so many things.
Yes, the Lions, we set up our barbecue. We've got hot dogs, hamburgers, sausage, of course. We've got a 50-50 draw. We've got our scouts. They do the music and the ice cream for us. And the best part about all of this, all our monies that we raise and are donated through all of our cruisers stays in our local community. It all goes to local charities. We support many different little groups, and it makes us feel really good about being in part of the community.
The Lions Club, that's what it's all about, is being in the community. And again, it's pay what you can. People come out and they are able to, donate what they want to.
Yes.
And then that money really goes back and stays right here.
It is. It all stays in our community. And one of the Lions things for their mission statement is we serve, and that's what we do here at Hyde Park Lions. We serve. We've got our Leo's Club and a bunch of young kids, and they're coming up in leadership training and stuff like that, so we're really proud of those. They're a good bunch of kids, and they're raising money and helping out in the community also along with us in the Lions Club.
All right, you have to tell us, you have a special night coming up. It's
We have, on August the 29th, we have our VW Legends show. It'll be here at Plunkett's. It'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning. We have lots of entertainment, lots of vendors, and of course the Lions will be having their barbecue going again. So it'll be an exciting day. So bring the good weather on the 29th if you could.
You got it, girl. I'll be doing that. Definitely amazing. Lots of exciting events coming up. Again, the support and all the money raised goes to support local charities and people in our community. Coming up, I'll take you through the extended forecast. Lots of sunshine on the way as we head into the weekend. Thank you so much, Karen.
Well, thank you for coming out. We really appreciate it, and we really appreciate all our cruisers because they makes it so special here.
All right, Julie, thanks very much. When we come back, Canada's premiers face-to-face with the Prime Minister. They're pushed for a united response to American tariffs. Welcome back. The Prime Minister arrived on Prince Edward Island today for face-to-face meetings with Canada's premiers who have been demanding a federal plan for negotiating a trade deal with the U.S. Rachel Aiello reports.
Under pressure to plot Canada's path through the latest escalation of the trade war with the United States, Prime Minister Mark Carney met with premiers today to strategize.
Canadian governments around this table will do whatever it takes to defend and support our families, our workers, and our businesses.
Morning. Provincial and territorial leaders went into the meeting wanting the Canadian government to articulate how they intend to get the Americans to the table.
With a strong plan, Team Canada, led by the Prime Minister.
And what happens if he doesn't have a strong plan today?
Well, I don't expect him to have the T's crossed and I's dotted, but it's a Team Canada approach led by the Prime Minister.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and Chief Negotiator Janice Charette joined today's talks. And hours later, First Ministers emerged united and with new resolve.
We're ready. We're ready because we've been focusing on what we can control. And that's building our strength at home.
As the clock ticks towards U.S. President Donald Trump's new tariffs coming into effect, Carney said he sees the current deadline as both a potential endgame, but also just another pressure tactic.
Everything's on the table if there's no agreement, depending on the outcome of the negotiations.
And premiers, while initially differing on retaliation, agreed the best outcome would be to get a comprehensive deal that provides relief for the full range of tariff-affected sectors.
97% of our goods cross the border without tariffs, but we'd like it to be 100%. And we'd like it to be the same way for the rest of the country as well.
The Prime Minister was also pressed to keep provinces in the loop as negotiations intensify. why.
Canada's at its best when provinces and territories and the federal government work together.
Carney and the premiers also agreed to keep up efforts to strengthen the domestic economy, to reduce Canada's reliance on the United States long term, from breaking down even more interprovincial trade barriers to building more major energy projects. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Researchers at Western University say an EF0 downburst hit the hamlet of Mapleton last weekend. Officials with the Northern Tornadoes Project released their findings today. The intense storm rolled through Elgin County early Saturday afternoon, uprooting trees and ripping apart barns, but no injuries were reported. Rejoining Julie Atchison now live on location for us at the Plunkett Estate. Julie, you're looking comfortable there, and it is a lovely night for a cruise.
It absolutely, it's a picture-perfect night for a cruise night down here. So many people out enjoying it. I'm hanging out in a 1970 Chrysler Newport, and this is a pretty cool convertible. Lots of people, as I mentioned, out enjoying the evening. Conditions across our area are perfect. High pressure in control, comfortable weather, and as we head into tonight, a great night to keep the windows open. Our high temperature today hitting 24 degrees, so still coming in a bit below normal for this time of year. Our low temperature 11. Tonight will be a couple degrees warmer than that, and then as we head toward the weekend, we'll have day-to-day warming. Temperature on the hour 23 degrees, and as we head to the north, 21 through Huron, Perth, Grey, and Bruce. Satellite radar, not a whole lot to show. Skies are clear, and as we head tonight, that area of high pressure will continue to crest over the region. We have some showers in through northwestern Ontario, some much-needed rainfall, but the heat continues in Western Canada. In through the interior of British Columbia, we do have widespread heat warnings in place, and then across the southern prairies where temperatures are anywhere between 28 and 31, but in through the interior of BC into the mid-30s. Overnight in London, 10 degrees, Midwestern Ontario from 9 to 14 degrees as we head toward Wyerton, and 12 degrees near Lake Erie. You can see the cloud cover off to the northwest. We will be tracking a cold front that will come into the area as we head into the weekend, and that won't arrive, though, until Sunday. That'll be our next opportunity for showers. So we will start to see increasing cloud cover Saturday night. We could see a few showers kick off towards Lions Head and the Bruce Peninsula, but the main rain not coming in until Saturday. Showers expected as we head into, Sunday into Monday. Sunshine in the forecast for your Friday. The forecast high coming in at 27, and the winds light out of the southeast from 50. Saturday night, clouds roll in. We have showers in the forecast Sunday and into Monday. Temperatures will dip a bit once again, so no major heat in this forecast. I'm happy. I know the heat is tough to take for. So the forecast really a win in terms of comfort levels, low humidity. Midwestern Ontario, your forecast.
All right, apologies. Sounds like we're losing Julie's mic there. Still ahead, though, the head of Trans Mountain says a pipeline can and will be built to the West Coast.
Okay, tomorrow morning at 8:15, we need your expertise because it's going to be a gorgeous beach weekend.
We're trying to find the best dog-friendly beaches in southwestern Ontario. Text your answers into 54321.
Who's hungry, London? Growing Chefs Ontario presents the return of Londonlicious, July 24th to August 16th, spotlighting unique and delicious eats in the Forest City. Enter now at ctvlondon.ca for your chance to win dinner for two at one of the amazing restaurants.
The CEO of Trans Mountain, the Crown Corporation responsible for running a potential new pipeline from Alberta to the West Coast, says he believes the project will get done. With more on what that project could mean for Canada's energy industry and the broader economy, here's Mike Lucatour.
I certainly think it can be built. We already have built something like it.
The CEO of Trans Mountain believes the newly proposed pipeline can and will be built.
We were talking about the possibility of another pipeline.
In an exclusive interview with CTV News, Mark Mackey suggested the cost would be similar to the first pipeline, which was $34 billion. But he says there is a very compelling case for a new pipeline from Alberta to BC's coast.
This one is a little longer, a little bigger, more capacity than what Trans Mountain built before. But I think it's very necessary in the global context that we live in today.
The federal and provincial governments are investing in the project with the help of the Crown Corporation that Mackey heads up. Pembina Pipeline Corp has also agreed to a potential 10% stake. Prime Minister Mark Carney has also referred the pipeline to the Federal Major Projects Office for approval. Carney has pointed to the federally owned Trans Mountain Pipeline as an example of a project that is working. And Mackey agrees.
We paid $1.7 billion into the Treasury last year in dividends and interest. We'll beat that this year. You'll probably reinvest some capital in the years thereafter. This is going to be a very profitable investment for the country, the legacy Trans Mountain. I expect the new system to be the same. And the overall economic impact that that system will enable is ginormous to the country.
Asked if he believes if the federal government should sell the pipeline that it already owns, Mackey said Canada should hold on to it, adding it's far too strategic to the country. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
North American markets fell today as the price of oil rose. In Toronto, the TSX lost 292 points. In New York, the Dow dropped 507. The Nasdaq fell 553. The Canadian dollar is up 0.03 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold lost more than $100 an ounce. Oil climbed more than $5 a barrel. When we come back, an iconic destination on the road to freedom, the history behind the Fugitive Slave Chapel as we celebrate London's 200th anniversary. Welcome back. Our series celebrating London's 200th anniversary continues tonight with a look back at the foundations of this city's black community. With more on the history behind the Fugitive Slave Chapel, here's Sean Irvin.
Inside this building at London's Pioneer Village is an original trap door offering a gateway to the past. Through here, historians suspect those formerly enslaved in the United States may have first experienced freedom in London.
There's a belief that they may have had opportunities where they had to hide some of the freedom seekers because they were being chased after, and so they may have hidden them there until things were safe for them to come out.
The formation of London's black community dates to our founding in 1826. At the time, slavery remained in place in the British Empire, but Upper Canada was unique. Going back a few years earlier, John Graves Simcoe had worked to limit the practice and worked to end it the very same year he first stood at the forks of the Thames. While his plan did not succeed, Governor Simcoe did get a compromise, and Upper Canada became the first colony to ban the importation of any new slaves in 1793. That prospect drove black freedmen to call for their relatives in the South to attempt to flee. By 1834, slavery had been abolished throughout the British Empire, leading to the growth of the Underground Railroad to Canada.
This was attractive to the enslaved people in the United States because this now meant that if they could get here, they would have their freedom.
They were very happy to get to a place where they could no longer be captured and sent back south.
London became a terminus and home to a growing black community southwest of the current downtown, near present-day Thames and Horton Street.
It was an area that was a floodplain, so land was some of the cheapest land that they could afford, which is why they settled there and started creating, a life and a community together.
A key part of life in London involved faith. While blacks remained unwelcome in most white Christian churches at the time, segregation remained prevalent. The new black community came together to build a church of their own. In 1848, the African Methodist Episcopal Church opened on Thames Street.
Building of a church was something that was important to them.
But only 2 years later, the church building was needed for more than salvation. American slave catchers entered Upper Canada, hoping to get people they deemed property across the border, where a new law meant they'd be forced further south.
The Fugitive Slave Bill in 1850, this meant that if fugitive slaves ran to the north, they were no longer safe there. In fact, Americans were expected to actually round up runaway slaves and to return them to their owners.
Black and white sympathizers along the Underground Railroad doubled their guard. Places like the AME Church likely became sanctuaries. The church was also said to be home to a key moment in history. Well, yet to be proven, it is strongly believed that prominent U.S. abolitionist John Brown spoke here before his failed slave revolt at the U.S. Armory in Harpers Ferry, Virginia in 1859.
And the story is that John Brown, who did the raid on Harpers Ferry, actually raised the money for the raid there.
A mere 2 years later, the United States was involved in a deadly civil war over slavery.
My understanding is that there were men who went from London and southwestern Ontario to join in the fight.
Former slaves free in Canada went to fight for a country they still somehow believed in.
As much as it was a challenge for them living there, it had become their home. Many of them had been born in the United States.
At the Civil War's conclusion in 1865, some in the black community did return to the United States, but many more came north and settled in London. By 1869, the old wood-framed church was replaced by Beth Emanuel, closer to the migrating black community on Gray Street. For over 130 years, the story of this chapel faded. The old church was covered over and turned into a residence. Enter a campaign led by many, including former city councilor Harold Usher and local historian Joe O'Neill. They fought to have the home spared and moved through the streets to a plot of land next to its daughter church.
We did get it moved. The city did help us a lot, and then a lot of people jumped on board.
Unfortunately, the concept faltered, and by 2020 it was clear the Fugitive Slave Chapel, as it was then known, would need another home.
This project is a part of Canada's history, it's a part of London's history, and it's a part of black history.
Another community effort began, and in 2023 the chapel was on the move again to the Pioneer Village.
This actually encourages its preservation for future generations, and it does actually send out the signal that, yes, we really do care.
It is a message Christina believes echoes in the restored walls of the chapel. While much of it is recreated, the original wood frame remains exposed in a corner for all to see, as does the original floor that now serves as wainscoting. And then there is that trap door, representing a path to freedom for a first generation of black Londoners whose legacy lives on today.
I feel as though those ancestors are thrilled. You could almost feel the joy, coming out of the space, like this is what it's meant for.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Tomorrow on CTV News, 50 years of the Home County Music and Art Festival. All the details on this year's two-day event coming to Victoria Park this weekend. Tomorrow on CTV News at 6.
Thank you to Shelley and Gord Rose from Woodstock for a photograph of the day. I love the smile. That's great. Conditions across our area cool and comfortable overnight, but heating up as we head into your Friday. We have the chance for rain by Sunday.
Federal officials are warning travelers to the U.S. to be cautious because of an ongoing bacteria outbreak. The bacteria causes stomach illness, which has made headlines across America with thousands of suspected cases linked to contaminated lettuce. The federal government has now raised its travel advisory for cyclosporiasis in the U.S. to orange. Canadian health officials say they have not identified any outbreaks on this side of the border. American military officials say they've now bombed Iran for 12 straight nights. Yesterday, President Donald Trump said he would destroy an Iranian bridge or power plant every time the Iranians shoot at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Today, he said he's seriously considering restarting major combat operations in Iran, which could include larger strikes. Meanwhile, Iranian officials say they attacked U.S. military sites in Jordan and Kuwait. Elsewhere, a satellite image from NASA appears to show an oil tanker ship on fire. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthis say they attacked 2 Saudi vessels in the Red Sea today. It was the rebels' first reported attack on a ship since announcing a blockade of Saudi-linked vessels earlier this week. Trump is now threatening major military punishment if those strikes continue. U.S. officials also say a civilian nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia is conditional on the Saudis joining the Abraham Accords, normalizing relations with Israel. The agreement was announced yesterday, allowing Saudi Arabia to enrich uranium and build nuclear reactors using American technology. It would not be subject to snap UN inspections. The deal still has to pass the U.S. Congress to go into force. The Saudis have long said they would not sign the Abraham Accords unless there was an agreed roadmap to Palestinian statehood. Crews in Kitchener are finishing up a new recreation center featuring 2 pools built with stainless steel. That's a distinct approach compared to the traditional concrete and tile. With more on the differences, here's Alexandra Hollick.
Sunlight dances across the surface of these new swimming pools, their shine bolstered by a metallic material.
First stainless steel pool in the city of Kitchener.
The Cowan Recreation Center will feature an 8-lane, 25-meter pool alongside a program pool for aquatic activities.
That will actually allow us to have 48,000 more swim class spots for residents of city of Kitchener and beyond.
It's a first for the city and the region of Waterloo. The durable design is a dive into uncharted waters.
It initially may feel a little differently when you first step into the pool. Overall, it provides for a better user experience and, as I said, less downtime. It's actually the more sustainable choice.
Now that the pools are filled, the city says maintenance will be minimal, which in turn will use less water and boost environmental benefits.
There's less chemicals that are required, it holds the temperature better, and there's less potential for operational impacts.
Mayor Barry Verbanovic says any repairs can be done without draining the pool.
If there was ever anything that needed to be adjusted on the stainless steel, it's welding that can happen underwater.
As for the project's price tag and timeline, the city says it's floating along.
It's in fact on time and on budget and something we're very excited about.
As excitement builds, so does the rest of the rec center. While an official opening date has yet to be announced, the plan is to welcome the public before the end of this year. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
It's time for your London list. This is a rundown of local events coming up this weekend. We're joined by Weaver from Afternoons on Pure Country. There's an afternoon event on a Friday, and this is a luncheon event downtown London. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this one's right up my alley. It's called Tales and Tunes, and it supports SCAR, Second Chance Rescue for Animals. And what an event. You pop over on your lunch break, and you get to see adoptable dogs. I mean, if you're having a tough day at the office, what could be better than that, Julie?
Agreed. Pet therapy is where
Yes,
it's at.
Absolutely.
There's lots going on this weekend. We have Londonlicious kicking off on Friday as well.
Oh, I'm so excited for this one. I love it every year. Have you had the opportunity to enjoy Londonlicious
I have.
before?
You know what I love about Londonlicious is that the restaurants all have these Londonlicious menus. So they really use a lot of local ingredients, and they really, local farmers have an opportunity as well. It's a great community collab.
Absolutely. There's also a wow factor to it because they're trying to impress you with those Londonlicious specific menus. So last year I got to try Los Olivos out in the West End. This year I'm going to see That Dave guy who makes incredible sandwiches on Dundas. I'm very excited. The whole event kicks off this Friday, tomorrow, and then it runs for 2 weeks. So please take the opportunity to check out one of the local restaurants.
Yeah, great way to support local. There's a show opening up this weekend, and it's country themed. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I'm a country guy at Pure Country Radio, and we've got Nashville Music City, a great country music story and musical happening at the Huron Country Playhouse. It opens this week, and it runs for a couple of weeks as well.
All right, what else is happening?
Everything. It feels like that time of year. Outdoor movies, London Majors games. But one I would like to highlight is the 162nd Zurich Country Fair. Who doesn't love a country fair as
Everybody
a country
does.
guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Something for everybody. Get outdoors, see your friends and family, and just enjoy it.
All right, and the MS bike ride is going on this weekend. This is a big, this is like, people train for this. This is quite the ride.
Yeah, I could not do it myself personally, no chance. They ride from Grand Bend Motorplex all the way to Fanshawe College in London over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and it's all to raise money for the fight against MS. So if you see a lot of riders in that neck of the woods, in that major stretch there, you'll know what's happening this weekend.
All right, that's your London list with Weaver, and we'll see you next time.
Finally tonight, a brush with fame for a pair of aspiring musicians. As Garrett Berry reports, what started as a routine gig at a hotel bar turned into an experience they'll remember forever.
It was this singing voice that inspired one of the music industry's biggest stars at a gig in St. John's.
She runs up to the front of the stage and she was like, "Can I sing with you?" And I was like, "Sure," still not clicking in who it was.
Who it was, pop music singer Kesha. Just an hour or so before she took the stage at a music festival, she joined local artists, Julia Dawson and Bruce Smith, for a song at a local bar.
Once she came on stage, you know, she had the vibe going, she was dancing, and it just felt incredibly natural.
She was harmonizing and singing, and I was like, oh my God, it's Kesha next to me, like 2 feet from my face.
A pinch me moment for the young duo, who are working to build a music career at home in Newfoundland and Labrador. Kesha even posted online about her drop-in performance, writing on Twitter, "Incredible voice, I was stunned." Maybe this moment in the spotlight could build into a crescendo and push the duo to bigger music careers.
I hope that it brings more recognition to the work that we're doing, and that, you know, more people will come check out our work as the duo and what we do as soloists as well.
The dream would be to go on tour and show people my music and, you know, do the thing, be the person, you know, that everyone wants to see.
Either way, it will always be an incredible story and a point of pride.
Like the ultimate, like, mom lore drop. It should just be like, when I have kids and stuff someday, I'm just going to be like, oh yeah, one time I performed with Kesha.
Garrett Berry, CTV News, St. John's.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.